fun.
Please rise. Ladies, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you to everybody who's here in attendance and for those who may be online. And thank you for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call.
Rosenberg.
Present.
Mallard.
Here.
Albrecht.
Here.
Latz.
Here.
Carney.
Here.
Foney.
Here.
Mr. Roach is not on yet. Small hearers.
Here.
Hudson. Here. Blackburn.
Here.
Borse. Here. Campbell.
Here.
Parchman.
Here.
Van Hook.
Here.
Thank you. You've all received copies of our last meeting on March 3rd. Do I have a motion for approval of the minutes?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Thank you very much. Okay. This evening, we have two public hearings. The first public hearing is to consider a business district for the proposed Park Place Business District. Now, this is for everybody's understanding, this is a 1% tax on items sold in the proposed Park Place development. It also includes the old food factory and the sports park, any items sold in either one of those as well. This is then rebated to the developers or to the city if it's sold in the city park, sports park. And these are very similar to other business district taxes that we have throughout the community. It does not impact any other businesses. It does not impact any residents or visitors unless they are purchasing something in one of those venues. This will also come up for discussion in our March 24th Community Development meeting. So with that said, I'm going to open up the hearing to see if anybody has any comments for or against the proposal to establish a business district sales tax in the business district of the sports park, the old food factory, and the new proposed Park Place Business District. Is there anybody who has any comments that they would like to make for or against the proposal? Is there anybody who would like to make any comments for or against the proposal? Is there anybody who would like to make any comments for or against the proposal? Hearing and seeing none, then I will close the hearing at 7:04 p.m. The second public hearing tonight is to consider the adoption of an ordinance pertaining to amusement tax. And this is an amusement tax only for the proposed new Park Place development. This is a 5% tax that would be on activities like pickleball, golf, rock climbing, types of activities in the park development only. It does not impact any other businesses or any citizens. It's a 5% tax. 4% of that is rebated to the individual businesses that collect it, and 1% is kept by the city for the administration of that tax. So I will open up the hearing by asking if there is anybody who has anything to say in favor of this tax or opposed to this tax. Yes, sir.
Ron Zelms, Ward 6. I'm neutral on it, but I'm just trying to see if you could give us some ideas of what you're really talking about in terms of the activities that would be going on there that would be taxed. I know amusement tax can cover anything from video gaming to streaming to sports events. So just trying to get some idea of what would pertain to the Park Place development as opposed to other venues within the city.
Those were the three that I mentioned that have been mentioned: the golf, possible rock climbing, and pickleball. Yes, sir. That's the only ones that we know of at this point that have been discussed. Okay. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to bring forth either in favor or against? Is there anyone who has anything they would like to bring forward either for or against? Hearing no other comments, I will close the hearing on the amusement tax at 7:06 p.m. Okay. Now, we will move on to something that's going to be a little bit more fun and entertaining. I would like to ask Mr. Mitchum and this group of young ladies if they would come and meet me up here at the center.
I have a record.
Sure, come on up. Sure you don't want to show it to everybody back behind you? Or you'd rather face it? There you go. I also want to thank Tom Vorse for bringing these young ladies to my attention and asking, hey, what we'd like to do and bring some recognition to these young ladies for what they've achieved and what they do. These are Girl Scouts. There's two different packs here, two different groups. And what is unique about them, they are robotics groups. And there's 160 robotics teams in the state of Illinois. Only 6 of them are all young ladies teams. The other 4 teams are all in Chicago. So these are the only teams south of Chicago. Plus, they've won a few honors, and I think we're going to let you please introduce our young ladies and some of the achievements and some of the other extra activities other than just the equipment that they put together.
Well, first, I'd like to thank everyone for the time. Thank the City Council for your time. And although these are two Girl Scout teams, we proudly fly the Girl Scout banner. We are community teams, right? And as a community team, we do rely on local support, to help these robotics teams function. That can either be through sponsorships or food donations or bill space is one of our most pressing needs at the moment. But we do want to recognize the proud accomplishments the girls had this season. So P3 is our longest running team in Southern Illinois for Girl Scouts, running going on 7 years. And second year team, Gear Girls at First Tech Challenge. Both teams had amazing seasons this year. And I will turn it over to Maddie from P3 to talk about the accomplishments for P3 this year, and Gabby from Gear Girls to talk about their accomplishments.
All right, we are Team 16751, the Polytechnic Puzzle Pieces. Both P3 and Gear Girls are community-based teams from O'Fallon. We are all Girl Scouts, and we each have 7 years of experience in FIRST. P3 has won multiple awards this season. We won the Think Award at the Southern and Central Illinois State Qualifier, and the Connect Award at the Arkansas State Championship, and the Connect Award at the Illinois State Championship. Because of that award, we have the opportunity to go to a FIRST Premier event, which is an invitational, this June.
Team 23469, the Gear Girls, has also won multiple awards this season. At our state qualifier, we won the 3rd place Inspire Award, and at the Arkansas State Championship, we were able to win the Motivate Award. So for outreach, we like to really connect back to the community and introduce more people to robotics, and we especially love to give back to the Girl Scouts community as well and really get more young girls involved in STEM. And we are also always looking for more sponsors and people with experience in the STEM community to give us advice for our team to thrive.
All right, before we do, this is going to be ad lib, one quick overview of the robot. I do want to have everybody go through and introduce yourself and what you are in school.
Hi, I'm Olivia, and I'm a junior at Edwardsville High School.
Hi, I'm Thara. I'm a sophomore at O'Fallon High School.
Hi, I'm Tori. I'm a freshman at Triad High School.
Hi, I'm Ava, and I'm a freshman at Triad High School as well.
I'm Maddie. I'm a junior at Edwardsville High School.
I'm Gabby. I'm a freshman at O'Fallon Township.
I'm Olivia. I'm a freshman at O'Fallon Township.
I'm Tristan. I'm a freshman at Nearings Hall.
I'm Lily, and I'm in 8th grade at Carriel Junior High.
I'm Nakaya. I'm a freshman at Belleville East.
And I'm Abby, and I'm a freshman at OTHS.
All right, so next, this is going to, so part of FIRST and part of the robotics is we talk about more than just robots. It's building the character of the students. They don't just spend time building and coding these robots in front of you, but they also have to do interviews, they have to do outreach. You may have seen them at Vine Street Market. They ran the STEM club at the library. They had a couple of summer camps at the library this summer at O'Fallon. But part of it is public speaking and being able to speak in front of judge panels and interviews like that. So I need a couple of volunteers who, without practice, are going to give a quick overview of your robot. Matt.
Okay. Okay, so this is our robot. The main point of this year's game is we had this giant box in the middle of the field. It's metal with like bars and stuff. And so in the middle of this box is a bunch of these little like rectangular cube things, which we have to pick up and then score in these taller baskets. So our robot has a a bunch of joints that allow us to reach out and pick up a piece from inside what we call the submersible. And then from there, we can go back in, and these two claws transfer to one another. And from there, this arm goes up and it can score into these high baskets. Each block in the high basket is 8 points. Another way we can score is putting a clip on these pieces, and we do that by picking up from the wall, and from there we can pick up the piece and score it on these rungs, and that is 10 points each. Also in what we call end game, we have 30 seconds, and our robot can hang on some more rungs on this on the submersible. And so we use 3 printed parts for that and these linear slides. Also, the beginning of our game is called autonomous, which just means that the robot is pre-programmed, and yeah, so we're not touching these Xbox controllers that we do like the other 2 minutes of the game.
So alongside sharing a practice space, we also share some of the same ideas. So our robot is also able to go out to pick up our game pieces, and it uses a rotatable claw to grab them. And then it brings them back into our custom 3D printed basket that one of our team members made, and it's able to lift its vertical slides up, so kind of like P3, so that it's able to score pieces in the high basket of our field, getting us more points throughout the game. Then, like P3, we can also hang our robot too. This is a feature that a lot of teams have. So our robot is able to ascend from the rungs where we get our pieces. And it also has this little clip on the back of the robot. That way we can hook on the little clipped pieces that they previously mentioned to score more points.
I hope you see why we wanted to have them come here tonight and show off what they've done because of what they've accomplished and the work and the effort they put into it. And by the way, the Public Works team, I guess Walter has asked, can they please design something quickly that would help pick up trash in the streets? They didn't know how quickly they could get that done, though, so we may have to find some other sources, Jeff. Ladies, thank you very much for coming tonight. Appreciate it, and thank you for all the hard work and dedication you have. Get in here. All right.
I saw a bunch of wires, that's why I thought. Solar and coal. Very good. Thank you.
If you didn't find that interesting, there's something wrong. We'll now open up the session for the first time. We'll have another session later on for public comments. We ask that anybody who comes to the microphone to please identify themselves with their name and what ward they live in, or if they're representing a company, what company. Please do not address that to individuals either here on the dais or in the audience, but as just a common comments that you would make to the council of a whole. If there's some things that I can answer after our second session, I'll try to, but otherwise, be glad to have people come in and be able to discuss whatever questions so that we can give you accurate information. Also ask you to please use proper business decorum because this is a business meeting. So with that said, does anybody have any comments that they'd like to make to the council?
Ron Zelms, Ward 6 again. 55 years ago, I was happy to be able to deal with a slide rule. I mean, stuff like this, it just, you know.
I don't even know what a slide rule is.
It is anyway.
I know. I was impressed with my grandmother brought me a $19 four-function digital calculator. But anyway, so yeah, it's just neat to see that. It is. What I have to say tonight is a public service announcement to all the citizens of this city. Law enforcement is out doing their job. I see them in my neighborhood a lot, and I see a lot of what I call the woo-woos. They're pulling people over, and that's a good thing. And I really, really appreciate the fact that they now have the digital readout on Lincoln Street when you're coming in towards the post office. But my public service announcement to the people of the city is the shoulder of the road is not a passing lane. Last Thursday afternoon, coming from Shiloh into town on Lincoln, had to go to the post office. So I had to stop, I don't know, 5-6 seconds for oncoming traffic. But the jackleg behind me couldn't see fit to stop, had to go around me. As I looked up and I saw him doing that, there was a young man walking down the shoulder of the street, no more than 75 feet ahead of me, okay? I laid on my horn to warn this kid, because he's, you know how teenagers are, headphones on, head down. He had no idea what was coming. Now, it may seem like 30 miles an hour isn't anything, but that's 44 feet per second. This kid was no more than 75 feet, maybe 80 feet in front of me. He had to go down about 3 feet down the embankment, okay, because he was so startled by this car coming down the shoulder. I see it all the time. People thinking they're going to turn right. Okay, we'll use the shoulder. This is not the first time that people have passed me on the shoulder, but it's the first time that it could have really, really resulted in something tragic happening. So please, folks in this city, slow down. Use the lanes that you're supposed to be using. Don't use the shoulder to pass. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any comments that they'd like to make? Yes, sir.
He's next.
Go ahead.
My name is Mike Combrink. I'm a landowner here in O'Fallon and a farmer. I'd like to talk to the ladies and gentlemen of the council about an annexation agreement with Bruce Holland on Posh Road LLC. I have no issues with it being annexed. However, to be annexed, I would like it to be with the existing easement that we have in place, which currently states that only 3 houses may be put on this property and, excuse me, and have a gravel road 20 foot wide that is not intended to be a street or a public right-of-way. The way the property is currently set, it's 21 acres with a block building, garage on it. The person who is trying to annex this property has so far refused to purchase the easement, which has offered to him for sale at a reasonable price. I just want to make sure that the rights of the underlining landowner, me, are upheld and the easement agreement is followed. I appreciate your time this evening, and I would ask that when you vote regarding this issue, please remember to vote and the easement when the property is subdivided in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any comments?
Mike McCullough. I have a issue with the new parking lot at the park flooding other businesses in residential neighborhoods because there is no silt control. If I don't put silt control up as
Excuse
a
me.
contractor,
Excuse me. Which park are you talking about, sir?
the sports park,
Sports park, okay.
if I don't put a silt fence up as a contractor, I get a lovely email in 24 hours to clean the road. I contacted code enforcement on Saturday, and as of 6:55, their road has not been cleaned, nor has there been a silt fence installed. And why was the silt fence ever taken down to start with that we already paid to put up once?
If you would like to get that answer, I would say you want to call them or come in and talk to them in person, and they can
I
explain
did
that to
that
you.
Saturday, and I was told it would be rectified today. It is still not rectified.
Okay. All right, sir.
All right.
Anyone else have any comments?
Time starts now. Vern Malaire, Ward 3. First of all, I'd like to publicly thank the EMTs who work at the fire department for rendering aid to myself a couple of Saturdays ago. I greatly appreciate what they do, and I thank them for that. Thank you. Now, I'd like to deal with your warrant, some highlights and stuff that I'm trying to figure out what it is. And of course, the answer is always going to be, see me after the fact, but maybe the citizens would like to know too what these items are, or maybe they don't care. I don't know, but I just find it interesting to see. Your Amazon account, for one thing, I guess it's a credit card that you use for Amazon, $5,133 and change for a lot of stuff that was purchased for the park. Now, is those items purchased for the park, community park, or park, sports park? There was several, file cabinets, chairs, whatever, desks, whatever. I guess that's for the new Katie Caven Center, which should be built against the community park, and what, I don't know where how you run the funds for that. I mean, you have a special account for that or whatever. And I'm trying to figure out what your CBB transportation is for the public works for, in the note there it said, number 57 Highway 50 and Greenmount Road, $11,950. What was that for? Maybe I'll get an answer for that. Now your Commerce bank card statement, using your Commerce card, 28,300 change. Different items, different things, purchasing a lot of IT equipment or whatever. I guess it's normal, it's in your budget or whatever. But I noticed a trip by the clerk, I don't know if this is city clerk or the clerk, assistant clerk, travel expenses for an MCI winter 2025 conference. I was wondering what was gained from that information, especially the same information I asked from the alderman. I got responses from two for what they did when they spent $17,000 to go up to Chicago for the MRI conference up there. I never heard back on that. You won't face it. You got the meeting of the whole coming up on the 31st. Maybe we'll have a review of that, of everything. I don't know. I'm just throwing these out for information. Then you went and bought a new mower, $73,000 and change plus parts and whatever. A cover for it. I'm hoping that was in the budget, that you got the decent amount of money for that. There's several doing trips for training and whatever. We don't know what was accomplished on that for those trips. And trying to figure out what your USA Blue Book is for the Public Works for lab supplies. I have a problem with that. Ammonia, but then again you have chlorine and TNT. I don't know what you're using the TNT for, but I would maybe hopefully get a response for that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any comments that they'd like to make? Yes, sir.
My name is Trevor Schelling. I'm from Ward 5. With the current federal government planning on making tremendous cuts, I just want to make sure that that we have plans to protect the most vulnerable people in our community. So, the immigration raids have happened early in this administration and had been threatened to come after people in churches and schools. Do we have a plan to protect those people that may or may not be documented citizens? If the Department of Education gets cut or gets vastly reduced, do we have a plan for our kids to have lunches that they need, or the teachers or the staff to get paid or to have their benefits? If the VA gets cut, do we have a plan to take care of the veterans in our community, especially their health care? Social Security is getting cut. How are we going to guarantee that we keep our elderly out of poverty? Same with Medicare and Medicaid. These people need help, and the federal government was the ones that were supposed to offer them this help. So from my perspective, it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle we're on, that the left and the right are both in agreement that they don't seem to care about the little folks. So I just want to make sure that we all have a plan that we can help protect the people in our community that need the most help. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Can I make a public comment from up here?
Go right ahead.
I just wanted to take this time to thank, after the storms this week, the PD, the fire department, dispatch, EMS, the residents. I know there are some council members who were out helping people in their ward and not in their ward, and the residents in general who took the time to help their neighbors with cleanup or whatever was needed. I genuinely think I speak for all of us when I say thank you to everybody that helped.
Thank you. Okay. If there's no other comments, then I will move on to clerk's report.
Mr. Mayor, I have one item under the clerk's report. It's a request from the VFW Post 805 for a roadblock on Saturday, June 28th, 2025, from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we need a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call.
Mallard. Yes. Albrecht.
Yes.
Lotz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Boney.
Yes.
Smallhair.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Force. Yes. Campbell.
Yes.
Parchman.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
Affirmative.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's it, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. With that said, I'm going to move on into the mayor's report. Right off the bat, I'd like to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope they've had a nice weekend of celebrations. I know there's been some here in town. There's been other communities around us that have had that. But I'm going to go out of something that is not on the agenda tonight, and that's one of them is about the storm that was just talked about. The storm that went through O'Fallon has officially, if you have not heard it, been declared an EF1 tornado by the National Weather Service. I received a phone call early this morning that said that was possibility, and about 2-3 hours later, I received a call from emergency management at St. Clair County saying it was confirmed that it was an EF1 tornado. Now, we've got many residents who have suffered a lot of damage to their property and will need a lot of work to be done on it. I would like to ask everybody who is in that shape to make sure they take proper precautions of who they hire, and watch out, because there's always scammers who come around and try to take advantage of a situation like this. So please, the city has posted items out there on Facebook and so forth that you can take a look at and try to help you make those type of decisions. And Greg, I think you've got some general comments that you'd like to make along those lines as well.
I do. Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to direct our residents to our website at www.o'fallon.org. You can click on the emergency bulletin at the top of our webpage to access this information. But first, I want to remind our residents who have storm damage that you have different options to verify that you are working with a licensed contractor to avoid any type of scam. Number one, you can always ask for a copy of a contractor's license. If you request a copy of their license, they should provide it to you, and you may also request a proof of their license, a proof of their insurance. You may also go to the Illinois Secretary of State's office. You can verify that they are registered with the Secretary of State by using the business entity search on that website, and the link is provided on our website as well. And also, roofing contractors are required by the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation to be a licensed contractor. You are able to click on the link on our website to go to the e-license checklist. You would then select roofing contractor, St. Clair County in the state of Illinois to search to see who does have an active license as a roofing contractor in the state. Residents may need to pull a permit to make repairs to storm damage. The type of work that does not require a permit would be shingle replacement, including replacement of the felt underlayment. Also, if you are replacing your siding, we do not require a permit for that. However, a weather barrier commonly known as Tyvek is now required to be installed under the siding. And then minor repairs such as handrail replacements, replacement of deck boards, those do not require permits. Types of work that you may need to pull a permit for through our department would be electrical services. If you're altering, replacing, or repairing, you will need a permit for that. If you are one of those priority residents that did have damage to your electricity during the storm, please give us a call at 618-624-4500, extension 4. We will make it a priority to get to you at the same day if possible, if we have enough time. Also, structural items such as tree damage to your roof, wall sheathing, roof sheathing, damage to interior portions of your home, any type of structural items that are being altered, replaced, or repaired, that does require a permit. And then plumbing systems that are being altered, replaced, or repaired, and solar systems that are being altered, repaired, or replaced. Just a reminder as well that the City of O'Fallon will never send out an inspector to inspect your house unless you call us in advance to schedule that. Federal, state, and local disaster workers will never solicit or accept money on site, and we would never promise a grant or any type of assistance without having that proof for you. Once again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to our department at 618-624-4500, extension 4, and all of this information is available at www.o'fallon.org on our emergency bulletin at the top of our website. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mayor, I just have one comment. These people that are soliciting roofs and siding repairs and so forth, should they not register? Aren't they required to register with the police department and have a lanyard with some kind of license?
That information is also available on the website as well. We have a link to solicitors. They are required, if they are going to go door-to-door soliciting, then they are required to have a solicitor's permit through the City of O'Fallon. They're not required to have a solicitor's permit if you reach out to them or if you just answer an ad somewhere and call them in. But if they're going to go door to door and solicit, then they should have a solicitor's permit, and they would have to have a green lanyard that would be visible at all times.
I've had some substantial damage. I've had two people come, and their answer was, oh, it's hanging on the office, the business license.
No,
I said it
that's-
needs to be hanging on you.
No, it's very clear that it has to be on the person that comes to your door.
Okay, thank you.
In addition to what has already been said, the city has also, and many people have already heard about this, but in case you have not, have established an area over by Firehouse 4 that if you have any debris from trees that have come down and so forth, for being able to take that over, and they will deposit that in Waste Management has furnished us with some roll-offs. I think we've had 3 filled already, or 4? More than that. And they're bringing some more in. So that is available if you've got any kind of tree debris. Please do not bring over old mattresses, old furniture, and stuff like that, which people have tried to dump as well. So this is meant to help people who have had tree damage so that they can get rid of that and move forward. In addition to that, the city is working with the county on other types of removal of other types of damaged material. That will be announced down the road as we get closer to that. We know that some people cannot remove other kind of material until their insurance companies have an opportunity to look at that. It is sad if you drive around the city and you see some of the damage that has been done to some of the homes. And all we can say is we're just very happy that we did not have any serious injuries or any deaths. If you look at the fact that there's trailers that aren't in the city but are right next to our property, if there's homes that have had roofs torn off, and yet we have not had any serious injuries, thank goodness for that. And we will work with everybody as we try to work to get everything cleaned up. I know I can't say enough for our staff, whether it be our public safety group that's Friday night, they were on call, running everywhere and anywhere, trying to be of assistance. Our public works staff out trying to clear streets. We also had damage to a sewer line that they were out doing repair work to as well. And they continue to be out doing that. So I can't say thank you enough to our staff for all the work. And that also includes our Parks Department, which was out doing major cleanup at the parks as well. So I want to thank all of them for everything they've done. Our code enforcement for going out and checking some of the homes that were badly damaged and see if they were still habitable for people to stay there or if they had to find other places. I also want to thank our county board members, and one of them is here with us tonight, Mr. Coors, for helping getting some things, cooperation, and the cooperation that I've mentioned from the county board, from the county's emergency staff. And I also want to thank the county emergency staff for calling us and saying, hey, what can we do? When can we do it? And so we've got that. We're working with them to move things forward. I also want to make a thank you to Representative Charlie Meyer. Charlie called me and said, Herb, what can we do? So he made some contacts with the state to make sure the state was aware of what was going on in our community and the damage that we received. And last but definitely not least, I want to thank Waste Management, who has been so responsive to getting these roll-offs out for us and getting them hauled away and bringing in new ones so that we can assist people as needed with that. So there's a lot of people that I've probably missed on thanking, but when something like this hits, we're just grateful again that nobody was seriously injured or anybody was killed. With that said, I'm going to move on to another topic, which is the real, everybody, if I've received one, I've probably received about a half a dozen phone calls, and I've had probably 3 people stop in to talk to me personally about their recent copies of what their tax bill might be looking like in the coming year. And it had on there for the EAV estimates were up, I think, an average of about 12.5% here in O'Fallon. I want to point out a couple of things. One, the city has nothing to do directly with the appraisals. That is all handled through the county. They do that not only here in O'Fallon, but they do that across the county, and they do it at different intervals across so that they can go through each portion of the county at different times. So it's usually spread over about a 3-year period of time, and they cover everybody. As you know, the city has lowered the real estate tax rate for 7 straight years. That's thankful to this council, to our staff working together to make that happen. It's at the lowest point that it's been in 40 years. Out of the 8 taxing districts that you will see if you look at your tax bills, City of O'Fallon's portion is the only one that has actually lowered the dollar amount that you pay. The city is the only one that has actually lowered the dollar amount. Now, our library, out of the remaining 7, ranks as the 6th lowest. It has done a good job, but has had some increases in its, as far as dollar. As far as their tax rate, it has come down, but as far as the dollar. But I'm proud of what the council and the staff have done on the city's portion, in that we're the only one who, dollar-wise, has reduced the amount. If you looked at your 2017 tax rate and you look at your 2025 or 2024 tax bill, we haven't seen the 2025, so we can't say anything. Hopefully, with the work of everybody, we will see that continue, but we've got to wait to see the final evaluations and see how those all come out. Those should be coming out. We should be getting our final estimates probably within the next couple of weeks, because we'll have to have everything ready for April when we bring it to the council for the final votes on everything for our taxes. So with that said, I just am, again, thankful for this council working together. Unlike so many councils I hear across the state where people will say, one group will say it's red, the other group will say it's green, and they won't work together. This council may cuss and discuss stuff in committee, but they come together to get something done for our community. And then our staff works very, very well together to make sure that those things are implemented and they're done as efficiently as possible. I also would then just like to bring forth that we will have a committee of the whole meeting on Monday, March 31st. One of the major portions of that, coincidental to what we've just gone through, is emergency planning that the city has put into effect and how it would be carried out if there was something even more severe than what we see now. We're also going to have that same presentation at my town hall meeting on April 9th. That's a Wednesday that'll be here. I also want to just give a thank you to the fine presentations that were done on the Park Place development. I can't say enough to everybody involved. Grant, you in person led that charge to the presentations to everybody who came out and had concerns, and then taking those concerns and addressing those things to come up with some final plans. It was yeoman's job by everybody, and everybody involved with it, our public works staff, everyone involved with working at it, our police department looking at the streets to make sure that everything was proper, our fire department looking at things as well. So I just want to say thank you for that. That's a major undertaking, and I know you've spent a lot of hours and a lot of effort on that. One other thing I want to bring up, there is a bill right now going before the Senate Executive Committee on eliminating crime-free housing. It is Senate Bill 2264. This has been a piece of legislation. It would eliminate the free housing in all cities across the state. The elimination of crime-free housing, that type of legislation that is in effect in many cities has been a piece of legislation that has helped promote safety in communities like our own, and in no way is it discriminatory as some are trying to say it is. It has created partnerships between our residents, our property owners, and the city. It includes education and security education that has helped both property owners and those living in rental property. It gives protection to the property owners and the residents that they would not otherwise have. If anybody is interested in voicing an opinion on that, I would urge you to please contact our state senators to let them know your feeling on that. I know that I'm going to be doing that myself. With that said, I would be ready to move on into our resolutions. Mr. Vorse, 7.1, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign a coordinated communications service contract renewal between the City of O'Fallon and the Village of Shiloh for dispatch services.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call.
Albrecht.
Yes.
Latz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Boney.
Yes.
Small here.
Yes.
Did she respond?
Yes. That's a yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Vorse.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Parchment.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg. Mylard.
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Campbell, 7.2, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Make a motion that we accept a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign a pre-annexation agreement with Bruce Holland of Posh Road LLC for approximately 21.38 acres located at 1314 Posh Road, parcel ID 03-13-200-004.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion? And just to address some concerns that were mentioned, everything that has been approved through the county on how that roadway must be maintained is the same. There is no changes on that, nor is there any changes in the fact that it's for three pieces, being divided into three pieces of property. We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Latz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Boney.
Yes.
Small here.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Vorse.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Parchman.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
Affirmative.
Mylard.
Yes.
Albrecht.
No.
Okay. Mr. Vorse, 7.3, please.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign a quitclaim deed for parcel ID 04-29.0-129-007. It's 513 East Washington in O'Fallon, Illinois.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion?
I am going to recuse myself due to a conflict of interest with that action.
I will also be recusing myself.
Yes, sir.
I know it was a condemned building and we paid for tearing it down, cleaning up the lot. How much did we have in it?
Sandy, do you have an estimate on what that is?
I know
And
we're
it
selling it.
normally runs somewhere between $7,000 to $10,000.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing and seeing none? And our two council members who have recused themselves because this property is going to be used by Habitat for Humanity and they both are on the board for Habitat for Humanity.
But I will call your name, you say excused,
And I'm
okay?
very excited because this is the first Ward 3 property to be a Habitat house, so I am very excited for this.
Okay, Carney,
Yes.
Boney, just excuse yourself.
Yeah.
Small Hair,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Blackburn,
Yes.
Force,
Yes.
Campbell, Parchman,
Yes.
Van Hook,
Yes.
Rosenberg,
Affirmative.
Mallard,
Yes.
Albrecht,
Yes.
Lotz.
Yes.
She recused herself.
They recused themselves.
Present.
Present, okay.
Present, yeah. Okay, we'll move to ordinances for first reading. Mr. Campbell, 8.1, please.
Thank you, sir. Make a motion to approve an ordinance approving the final plat for the enclaves at Lawn Avenue.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call.
Phony,
Yes.
Small Hair,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Blackburn,
Yes.
Force.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Parchman.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
Affirmative.
Mallard.
Yes.
Albrecht.
No.
Lotz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell, 9.1, please.
Make a motion to accept an ordinance annexing certain territory containing approximately 21.38 acres located at 1314 Posh Road, parcel ID 03-130-200-004.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call.
Small Hair.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Force.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Parchman.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
Affirmative.
Mallard.
Yes.
Albrecht.
No.
Lotz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Phony.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. At this point in time, I would open the floor up again for anybody who has any additional comments that they would like to bring forth to the council.
Vernal Air Ward 3. Well, my question is, an alderman at the last committee meeting asked us a question about the cost of the property on 515 East Washington. You had a week to come up and give him the answer, and here we are tonight, you still can't answer him the cost of it. I don't see how difficult that is if you asked a question a week ago that you can't have the answer this week. Anyway, my other question is, the property that Holland wants to develop and whatever is a resolution tonight, and then it jumped to the second reading. So what happened to the first reading? We generally have a reading 1 week for reading 1, 2 weeks later, then we have a reading for 2. Evidently, we can skip some readings because what's the reason? That's my question, and hopefully I can get an answer.
Yes.
There was a reading for that at the last meeting. Mr. Millar, there was a reading for that at the last meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's when I was sick, I'm sorry. My mistake then.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else have anything they'd like to bring forth to the council? Hearing none. Mr. Zelms, on his traffic, there are all kind of people out there that do some crazy things. Our police have probably issued more tickets than I've ever seen them issue for some of these things. I personally saw somebody drive down about 5 blocks down the center lane so they could be first at the stoplight. It's ridiculous how some people just ignore everybody else and ignore any normal thinking safety. The furnishings that were mentioned, those were furnishings for the new pool area that had been purchased, and you will get a report on from everybody. I have it. I will read them at the meeting of the whole on the IML on the top subject matters that everybody attended. So we'll have that available. With that said, I will move on into reports. Mr. Campbell, 11.1, Community Development.
Thank you, sir. In the agenda this evening, you have the draft community development minutes from our meeting March 10th. We had a number of items which were brought forward to council this evening, and those have been taken care of. The next item is item 11.2 on the agenda, a special event permit request for Hot Rods for Hope Car Glow. And I would make a recommendation that, or a motion that council approve that special event permit this evening.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Do we have any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. Roll call.
Hudson.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Force.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Parchman.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
Affirmative.
Mylard.
Yes.
Albrook.
Yep.
Lotz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Boney.
Yes.
Small here.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell?
Item 11.3 is a special event permit request for Southern Illinois Ice Hawks end of season party, and I would move that council approve that request.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. Roll call.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Force.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Parchman.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg. Mylard.
Yes.
Albrook. Lotz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Boney.
Yes.
Small here.
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Item 11.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
You forgot me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay with it? Beautiful.
Okay. Item 11.4 is a special event permit request for Family Eye Care of O'Fallon Trunk or Treat. I would move that council approve that request.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. Roll call.
Force.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Parchman.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
Affirmative.
Mylard.
Yes.
Albrook.
Yes.
Lotz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Boney.
Yes.
Small here.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Mr. Rosenberg, Public Works.
Thank you, sir. We have not met since our last city council meeting. The next Public Works meeting is scheduled for the 24th of March at 7 p.m. Check the website to make sure the time doesn't change.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Vorse, Public Safety.
Yes, sir. We met on March 10th. The minutes are attached, and we took care of all the items that we had to for the council. And our next meeting is scheduled for April 7th. Check the
Thank you,
website for
sir.
details.
Mr. Albrecht, Parks and Environment.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Parks and Environment Committee met March 10th. The minutes are attached. There was no business conducted that needed council attention. Next meeting will be the 14th of April, 5:30, but check the website just in case.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Parchman, Finance and Administration.
Thank you, sir. We have not met since our last meeting. Our meeting will be next Monday for our monthly meeting at 5:30. We do have one item we need to approve, which will be 15.1, the warrant approval. So I'd like to make a motion to approve warrant number 555 in the amount of $1,773,251.24.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second on the warrant. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call.
Campbell.
Yes.
Parchman.
Yes.
Van Hook.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
Affirmative.
Mylard.
Yes.
Albrecht.
Yes.
Lotz.
Yes.
Carney.
Yes.
Boney.
Yes.
Smallhair.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Vorse.
Yes.
Thank you. I also want to say hi to Mr. Hersey, who's sitting back there, our treasurer. Thank you for being here, sir. With that being the last business to come forth at this meeting, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on adjourning? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to remind everybody that the consolidated election is on April 1st. Don't forget to vote.
Thank you, sir. All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye. Aye. Jerry's in a hurry.
I said aye already.
He said too many no's.
Those opposed, same sign. We stand adjourned.
I thought you were going to say no, Jerry.